They're the thugs. They're the true thugs, not us. We're the people who have been accosted by them, and if we don't stand up and do something about them, then they're just going to keep doing what they're doing and get away with it. So it's as simple as it is.
About leaving things, and yes, we all did that though, didn't we? We all left the doors open. We didn't worry about people coming into our homes. It's changed. But what I really think we need here, and we did have a subcommittee with the City of Stirling, and I actually, at times, I've been annoyed with the City of Stirling, but I think still it's our representatives, and we've got to work through the City of Stirling. And we've got to be available to put our time into attending meetings if we've got that amount of anger and concern that gentleman just stated. I don't disagree with you, by the way. I happen once I've been consuming alcohol with sons and with the surf. We actually need to have activities whereby they do the activities and then they want to go back to. We have not seen that happen in about 25 years, and as I said, as a kid, I came here. I've got photos of me as a little toddler here. And I haven't seen the effort put into it. It has to be, yes, the City of Stirling must put more attention to Scarborough. Yes, the City of Stirling needs to look at what they're providing for the amount of buildings they're proposing for Scarborough. And yes, the City of Stirling needs to look at things like the traffic issues, but yes, the City of Stirling also needs to look at this, our beach, and what it's providing for not just the local people, but all those people who want to do something in summer and head to the beach for that activity. Thank you.
I think the politicians do, the council do, but somehow the message is being lost. I think the politicians think they know what they're doing. They've got experts that give them advice, and the council have got experts that give them advice. But we're the real experts. We're the people who live here. And I think a lot of people think that Scarborough is just a place for druggies and people to come in on buses and things like that. But I'm sure that if I got you to put your hands up, just about 99% of you people live in Scarborough and live in the area. Put your hands up, those who live here. All right, so if there is anybody who's watching, realise that this is the people who live in the area. We don't mind sharing our beach with the people that come in. We understand it's an internationally famous beach, but we want to have a say in what happens. I'm president of Scarborough Progress Association. We need to send a message to the council and to the government that the people who live in Scarborough want a say in what happens here. And I think that's about the best and most important thing that you can do, is let everybody know. Okay, we don't mind sharing the beach, but when it comes down to what happens here, we're the people most affected by it. This happens on our front doorstep. It doesn't happen in another suburb. It happens right where we live. And we need to get together. We need to let the people know that we're the people who live here, we're the ones who are affected most by it, and we want to say in what happens in the future. Thank you very much.
The violence. The volunteer lifesavers are down there trying to rescue people who are in trouble in the water. We do that, but quite often we've got people coming up, their bags are being stolen. That's one thing that hasn't been mentioned, is the theft that goes on this beach. It's an easy pickings, and tourists come here, they've had their bags stolen, their money, their passports, everything. It's quite distressing. But in the 12 years that I was a volunteer lifesaver here, I've had a knife pulled on me. I stopped a guy up near the surf club who had 4 bags, and there's a couple of young guys trying to get their bag off him. One thing we're not allowed to do is intervene and sort of get aggressive to anyone, so I asked the guy to stop. Next thing I got a bloody Stanley knife flashing at me, so I stepped back. There was a policeman on the beach who was part of the surf club. APRA came up, were able to apprehend the accomplice, but it took 3 hours for the police to come.
People don't have to drink and drive. They catch the bus, the bus stop just up there. It's about 20 to 50 metres walk to one of 2 liquor outlets. They buy their carton of piss, then they go and get past it. That's basically what's happening. Now, I just put that on the table because it's either one of 2 things. You either review the need for these 2 liquor outlets so close to the beach. It's actually more than that, I think, might be 3 or 4. Or you actually have a look at the legislation and do something about the age at which people can actually buy alcohol from these outlets. Maybe think about raising to 21. I think that's about the size of it when it comes to drinking on the beach. The alcohol's too easily available. and there's no restriction on it when you don't have to drive your car. Thanks very much.
Also, another thing that we really do need is that our police station, I still believe, shuts at 6 o'clock. Or it's not manned. 4:30, it's not manned. There are problems at night here. It should be manned 24/7, all the time. Listen to what the people are trying to ask for.
Here this morning, about 100 metres away on the lawn there, were 4 guys drinking VB. And that's on a weekend when we've got far more police present than I've seen in the 10 years that I've lived very, very close to where we are now. You can have all the legislation you like, but of what use is it if we haven't got the police? If the police numbers are so low and respect for authority is so low, we're not going to get anywhere. It's the state government that needs to do something. We all need to do something, but until the state government gives us more police on the road, more presence, this and similar problems are going to continue throughout metropolitan Perth. Thank you.
All for coming down to this community forum, which was convened by the 2 local councillors. Just a couple of issues that I wanted to correct. Somebody said that there were no police officers at Scarborough Police Station after 4 o'clock. That's not correct. The office of the police is open from 8 until 4, but there's always a policing effort and police officers going to and from the station after 4 o'clock. So there are police officers out in the vehicles, like responding to calls. I've spoken to the Commissioner about the possibility of having a mobile policing facility down here, and he has agreed that once we get into the heart of summer, we'll have a mobile policing van down here in Scarborough, which is one of those big vans with the blue and white checks down the side. There'll be officers there. I thought you'd like that. And in addition to that, there was the issues that were down here on the long weekend. You know, it's a difficulty that we have in trying to get our summer policing effort right. Every year in summer we put additional police resources into Scarborough, and I think you've noticed the extra police around today. They used to come in at the end of October, and then we moved it forward 2 years ago. You remember there was an incident on the 19th of October, the day that Wembley Downs shopping centre caught on fire. So the police moved it forward. And then this year, the first hot day of summer when everyone came was the 2nd of October. So it's a bit difficult trying to work out when we can get the extra police down here patrolling. But I think you've seen them today, and the additional police effort down here has started. And they've been issuing infringements for alcohol, they've been confiscating alcohol from people, and they are being proactive in trying to disperse the unruly mobs. But I'll be around after this if you want to come and speak to me, because I think it's really important that you tell me directly what's going on. And thanks very much for coming. I've certainly learnt a lot from listening to you today.
Our community, and I think that's a pretty common thing that's come through for all of us. The social issues involved are broad issues beyond Scarborough, but calling for help for juniors, for youth. Youth violence has been identified, a greater police presence, issues about legal limit on alcohol use, a police post, public transport issues, the process, what happens obviously at the transit station area, and also activities for a cross-section of the community, which I think Felicity was the main point that you're making on that aspect there, Felicity. Something about enforced and alcohol-free zone, in other words, alcohol consumption is in licensed premises or licensed zones only. Working together, there's a big call for all of us to work together, to be proactive together, and to all play our part collectively together. It's not about blaming one section of the community, it's all your fault or your responsibility. We have to work together, and that's the clear message. Also, response time by police was raised, and also rangers, etc. Very clearly stated, rangers do not have the power of arrest, and they do not have the power that the law provides protection to police officers. They're not able to handle the issues that have been in this area since 2008. And just summing up very quickly, before Jason closes, thank you for coming, and also just a reminder, These issues have been in common play since 2008. The factors are all the same. The risk factors are all the same. They've all been patterned and they've all been documented and they've all been reported since October 2008. That's when it really started off, and that was the major forum that we had down here at that time, and there were several outcomes from that as well, and they were passed on, and I won't make any comment about that. Finally, we don't speak for the City of Stirling, but we've been told that our efforts are being scrutinised very strongly, and that there are regulations that relate to the Local Government Act, and we may face a complaint for our efforts here today. If that is the case, and there happens to be a lawyer in the audience, we might need your help. Thank you.
Very well, and it's very true too. It's very true. So, firstly, you should all be very proud of coming down here today, because I can guarantee you the reason the police presence is down here strong now is because we've spoken. So without you fronting up today, I can guarantee you it wouldn't be the same. So congratulations to you all for coming down. You're certainly welcome to come and have a chat to us afterwards, whatever you like. You should all be very, very proud of yourselves. Thank you.